Okay, in this video, I will show you guys how to integrate this right here. And yes, we will have to use the partial fraction method. And it's not that bad because the denominator has been factored in for us. And also the degree on the top is less than the degree on the bottom, so that's good. So here we go. First of all, we have 2x plus 1, and that's just a linear factor. So the first little fraction will be 2x plus 1 on the bottom with a constant term on the top. So we put on a for that. And then for this right here, we have x minus 2 squared. And this means x minus 2 times x minus 2. In other words, the linear factor x minus 2 has been repeated twice. Therefore, we have to build out the power. Always pay attention to this power on the outside. Well, first of all, we are going to have just x minus 2 to the first power. And you see, this is just a linear term. Therefore, on the top, we need to have a constant. And let me use b for this because we used a already. And then we'll continue. We will have to go to the second power now because we are building out the powers. And then we will write down x minus 2 to the second power. And when you build out the power, the top, it's the same kind. All right, so here we have b. This right here is also a constant, but it's a different one maybe. I'll just put on c for that. And remember, if this is to the fourth power, then you will have to have another one, let's say d over x minus 2 to the third power, and then another one, e over x minus 2 to the fourth power. You have to build out the power from the first to whatever this is, right? So this right here is the setup, and let's see how we can proceed. First of all, a can be done by the carve-out method because this denominator is from the original, exactly the same. Therefore, let's do that. Let me write this down right here for you guys. A is equal to, let's look back to here, and I'll cover this up. And how can we make 2x plus 1 equal to 0? Well, x has to be negative 1/2. 2x plus 1 equal to 0. So x is negative 1/2. So let me just put this down right here for you guys. X has to be negative 1/2 or negative 0.5, up to you. It's fraction, it's okay when calculus, so just deal with fractions, not that bad, okay? Anyway, put on negative 1/2 into all the x. Let's see what we have. We have negative 1/2 squared plus 7 times negative 1/2, and then minus 3 all over. This is covered it up already. So you put negative 1/2 in here. We have negative 1/2 minus 2, and then to the second power like this. So this is the work that we have to do to find out the a value. And just to show you guys, I'm not cheating, so I'll actually show you guys all the work. So this right here is, of course, 1 over 4. This right here is going to be minus 7 over 2. And then this right here is minus 3. And let's find out the top first. So perhaps I'll just put on multiply by 2, and then 4 and 4 like this. So on the top, this is 1 minus 14, and then minus 12. And let's see, this is negative 13. Minus 12 is negative 25 over the denominator, which is 4. And then on the bottom here, of course, negative 1/2 minus 2 is the same as, let's say, put on 2 and then 2, and then it's negative 1 minus 4, which is negative 5 over 2, and then you have to square this guy. So you have positive 25 over 4. And check this out. On the top is negative, on the bottom is negative, on the bottom is positive. Cancel, cancel, you end up with a nice number, negative 1. Okay, next we can do the carve-out method to find out what c is. Because this denominator, we can cover this up from the original fraction. So I'll do that. C is equal to, well, let's see. When you cover this up, x minus 2 squared, how can you make that 0? X has to be 2. So I'll just say let x equal to 2. Well, putting 2 into all the x right here. So we have 2 squared plus 7 times 2, and then minus 3 over. We just need a 2 right here. So is 2 times 2, and then plus 1, like this. This has been covered up already. And now let's do this. This is 4 plus 14, which is 18. Minus 3 is 15. On the bottom, this is 5. So all in all, we get 3. Right, so C is 3. Now, A is -1, and then C is 3, like this. And we have to find out what B is. And to do so, well, as you can see, B is the only unknown left. So if you would like, you can just plug in a number for x that you haven't used yet. We used -1/2 and 2. And of course, just pick any other x value. That's easy enough as well. So give me a number besides -1/2 and 2. I heard 0. Very good choice. If you use 1, I won't be mad at you neither. But let's just use 0. I was just putting 0 into all the x, and in this case, nothing is being covered up, okay? So putting 0 into all that. So we will have 0 squared plus 7 times 0 minus 3 over 2 times 0 plus 1. And then you have to do 0 minus 2 and then square. And this right here will give us, don't forget to put 0 into this right here as well. First, A is -1, so we can write that down. And then x is 0, so we have 2 times 0 and then plus 1. And then we add B, we don't know yet, so we just write this down as B over 0 minus 2. And lastly, we put down 0 right here, and C is 3, so we put down plus 3 over 0 minus 2, and then we square. All right, now let's see. On the top here is -3 over, this is 1 times 4. So we have just 4. So we have -3 over 4. And then let's see, this is -1. And then this is, well, minus, because this minus 1/2 B. And then this right here is plus. And check this out, we have 3 over 4 right here as well. And then we are going to do the rest. And let's see, check this out. This and that will give us -1 over 4, right? So that's nice. So we have -3 over 4. That's equal to -1 over 4 and then minus 1/2 B. And then let's just add this on both sides. So you add, just do the algebra, seriously. You add 1 over 4 on both sides. -1 over 4 plus -3 over 4 plus 1 over 4 is -2 over 4, which is -1/2. And this is equal to -1/2 B. So from here, you can see that B has to be 1, like this. Okay, so I did show you guys all the work, so you guys cannot complain, okay? I did the math myself as well. Now, we can go back there and then do the integral. Whew. Yeah, it's not the calculus, it's the algebra, right? Anyway, the first one is -1 over this guy, so I'll put this down right here, -1 over 2x plus 1. And then the next guy is this over that, so we add 1 over x minus 2. And then the last guy is 3 over this. So we have 3 over parentheses x minus 2 square dx. And right now, you should seriously be able to finish this on your own, right? But I will put on the answer for you guys. Let's see. First of all, we have a negative right here, so that's -1. And then when you integrate 2x to the first power plus 1, yes, you end up with natural log, absolute value, with 2x plus 1. But the derivative of 2x plus 1 is 2. When you are doing the antiderivative, you have to divide it by this 2. So we multiply by 1/2 right here, right? And the idea is that you're doing u sub. U equals 2x plus 1. Seriously, do it on your own. Next, we add 1 over 1x to the first power minus 2. So that's nice. So you end up with natural log absolute value of x minus 2. And the derivative of x minus 2 is just 1, so you don't have to worry about anything. Okay? Once again, the derivative right here was the 2. That's what we divided by the 2 over there. And lastly, we have to take care of this integral, and let me just show you guys right here. Let me put the 3 on the outside of the integral, and then we have 1 over x minus 2, and then we square that dx. Right here, again, we do u sub, let u equal to the inside, which is x minus 2, and you see du is the same as dx. Very nice. So this is actually the same as 3 integral of 1 over u squared, and then we have the du, and as you can see, this right here is 3 integral of u to the negative 2 power du. When you integrate this guy, you add 1 to the power, which is negative 1. Divided by negative 1, you get 1 over negative 1, right? And in the end, this times that is negative 3. And then you have u to the negative 1 power. Of course, this is negative 3 times 1 over u, and u is that. So you have the x minus 2, like this. So it's not always natural log, natural log, natural log, okay? When you have this right here being x minus 2 and then to the second power, you have to do this, right? And sometimes you may end up with an arctangent, but that's another situation. Anyway, this right here, I'll just write this down in blue. Negative 3 times this, which is minus 3 over x minus 2, like that. Right? So that's it. We put plus c, and box the answer, of course. Right? And hopefully you guys all find this video to be helpful. Let me know if you guys have any questions. And if you guys are new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys so much. And as always, that's it.